Sister Lenny, take one. The motto of CT is you never truly know people until you take the time out to get to know people. And what we mean by that is that you sit down and you have conversations with people and you let them tell their story in the way that they want to. You see the superstar, Sylvia Mulinge, a good friend of mine, likes to say, people see the glory, but they never know the story.
True that.
We're getting to hear your story now.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yes.
If you can sit on this seat, and we've been talking off camera, and I'm saying if you can sit on this seat and you talk that story,
Yes.
and share that version, that already shows how healed you are.
Yep.
But it was hard.
Yes.
Your story.
And I'm still healing.
Yeah. We're all still healing.
It
I love
never
it.
ends. Yes.
But this is the human side. You know, what a celeb thing that we only show.
You're tuni, yani, it's just like a vague.
It's a moment.
Yes, it's a moment thing.
Yeah.
So there's the real you, right?
Yes.
Yes, behind the scenes, like now when you're shooting this whole thing, there's people who are behind the whole thing. People don't know that.
Yep.
That there's some guys who are behind that, and they're making it happen. Exactly, Wamai and Aizo. And thank you guys for doing this. This is awesome. Like, you have no idea. Like I keep telling you, this is therapy for me.
Yeah,
it's
therapy for me as well.
Yeah,
it's funny. The more you share, the more we reflect.
Yeah.
And the more we check our own lives, and the more we begin also healing.
Yes. Healing, talking is healing.
You know, I'm coming to really realize this.
Yes.
The power of the mouth.
Yes.
One of the things that I've realized, I'm like, people live a whole life, but they never tell their story.
That is true. Very true.
In the fullness of it, from their perspective.
Yes. Most people, and especially in our African setting, we have a lot of taboos. And especially when it comes to talking about things that you have gone through.
Especially the negative.
Thank you. So we shy away from talking about things that bother us or have been bothering us for years, not knowing that we have been sick because of the things we have gone through, the hardships that we've gone through, the trauma that we have gone through. We don't speak about it because it can be labeled as weak. It can be labeled as a failure in life.
And another one.
Yes.
Shame.
And shame.
So, and this is such a powerful thing that I learned from Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime.
Yes.
And his mom, who is the hero of that book, says something so powerful. After she's been abused.
Yes.
She says, why should I move? I'm not the one who did the wrong.
Yes.
It was done to me.
Yes.
I'm not going to own the shame. I'm not going to own the shame.
Yes.
He needs to own the shame.
Exactly. Thank you.
So, as you're talking of your story, some of these things have been done, not some. So far, it's all been done to you.
Yes.
Why should you own the shame?
I don't have to. Yeah. I don't have to, yes. But I need to tell a story so that somebody out there who's gone through such or worse, because there are people who've gone through some crazy shit.
Yep.
You take a tip.
You know, it's true. It's what it
is. Yeah. But people find it very hard to talk about it. And it's because of the setting. Our setting as an African people. We have these taboos about stuff, which has really messed us up. And some of these things we think are white people's problems. When you talk about therapy, talk about psychiatrists, you think white problems, white people's problems. But us Africans have gone through it so much, and we don't know that actually this is our problems.
My wife is a psychologist.
These are our problems.
And one of the things that she says that amazes me when she's talking to parents of this generation, the parents are like, why are these kids complaining? You see, even us guys, we went through that thing and we came out okay. Then she always asks them, did you really come out okay?
Yes, that's the thing. People think they're okay.
Did you
but
but are you really okay?
You're not okay.
Or did you accept the madness as okay?
Yes, thank you.
Because everybody's in the madness. And just because everybody is going through it, it is like...
Yes. We are all mad.
Yes.
It's just the levels that are different. And then there's that normal level of madness. Ukipita ndio sasa unaitwa chizi. Mwenda wazimu ama kitu hiyo. You know, but we are all mad. We all have a certain level of madness.
Yes.
But there's that normal level where ukipita sasa now.
Wase wanasema wani chizi.
Yes. So
it's like another one that I'll say before we continue is the toxic environment.
Yes.
Us guys got so used to it.
Yes.
But when a new generation is complaining about things like, it's 5 o'clock, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Well, kangalia mse kwa nini naenda home sahi? Sifanya kazi. Just because you've been umezoea madness.
Yeah.
A new generation is like, no.
Yeah. It's my time. Like
it's time to clock off.
I'm done.
Do other things.
Yes.
You're like angalia wase wako lazy nini.
You know, it just reminded me now when we're in school in Modore Primary School, there used to be this harsh headmaster. Hey, alikuwa mkali yo jamaa. That guy, like I said, we used to go for parades every single morning and evening.
Guy.
Parade ni asubuhi na jioni tukienda home. Sasa ile kitu ilikuwa na sinya is that guy, first of all, he would stand in front and then we would line up like this, like he's over there and then and the other teachers and then would line up like this. So standard 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, paka 8. And then where we would line up somehow was elevated like this. So he'd see everyone. You know, he'd see everyone. And kengele kigongwa, see, you know, the way you run, all of you, and then you line up and make sure you're all neat. So that, you know, there are those kids who are just, yani,
wanakuja late.
Late, alafu kuna wale ukuwaga tu something inawasumbua tu, unakuta anafanya kitu, sijui anafanya nini hapo kwa, niko kwa parade, lakini kuna kitu tu inamsumbua hapo. So the headmaster would sit like this and everybody is quiet. Like, this school was run like a military school. We were all like this, straight, and then unaona tu anasimama hivi, alafu he starts looking like anaangalia, then anaangalia hivi. Then he spots somebody who is not attentive. He goes there. Unaona anatembea very fast. He goes, anashika, anamweka hapo mbele. Tak, unachafwa.
For real?
Yes. It was so funny. Like, yani, there are some movies I watch and I see this. Like, I remember watching, Escape from Sobibo.
I knew you were going to say that.
You guy. Yani, when I watch that movie, inanitrigger, nakumbuka such things, you know. And then, like in the evening, he would do the same thing. Tunakimbia kengele kiringi ya kwenda home. We all run and we line up and we stand there, quiet. No one is moving. If you dare do something, he goes, picks you up, anakuchapa mbele ya kila mtu. And he would just stay there for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, doing the same thing. So you guys are supposed to leave by 5. Unakuta mnatoka shule 6:30.
Anachapa tu wase.
Mko tu kwa mmesimama tu.
Na aongei?
Aongei. It was so weird. Like, my goodness. And those are things I used to remember, and I was like, I hated my primary school. Like,
yeah, your school is sounding... Okay, Bullets, I want to hear what happens at your mom's. First and foremost, you've gone to this school for only one term.
Yes.
Then you've gone to look for a new school.
Yes.
Hukuenda kwa hiyo new school, which is supposed to be in Shags.
Yes.
Then now where we've left this story.
Yeah.
Umeambia bro, by then nipatia your wallet.
Yes, and my jacket, and I've left. So I've gone. I'm at the bus stop. I'm waiting very early in the morning because that place is so cold, because it's, you know, it's near uko Limuru and nini. So it's very cold because hata kuna mist in the morning and all that. So as I'm standing there waiting for a matatu, a neighbor of ours comes and finds me there. And she's like, unaenda wapi saa hizi? It's too early. And I'm like, this and this happened, nini. Yeah, so me, I'm going to my mom's place. She's like, okay, do you know where you're going? I'm like, to be honest, I've not been in Nairobi for so long. Me, I just know nikiingia matatu nikifika Nairobi, I'll find my way. So luckily I had, of course I had my bus fare. And that previous day, my mom had come to see us. And just like kawaida, she would bring us some chipo, nini, and then she'd leave us some money. So I had some money in me. And I used to save. Every time she'd bring money, I used to save. So she's like, okay, so now utafanyaje? How are you going to, get yourself to where you're going? So the good thing is that I had contacts for my big sis, my elder sister. I had both contacts of my late sister and the elder sister. So she's like, okay, no problem. I'll take you there. I knew she worked at Jogo House, but I didn't know where Jogo House was. And those are the days for call box, call box. Ulikuwa unaweka ka coin, dial the number, then unapiga. So we tukaingia matatu, tukaenda, tukafika Tao. He got into town. She looked for a call box, and then she called my sister. In fact, she paid for me bus fare. So I didn't use my money, which I was so happy about, Sikuguza hata ndururu. So she calls my sister and she explains, she's, she introduces herself, tells her what happened, nini. And she's like, so my sister is like, okay, just bring her to my office. So we went to Jogo House, I think 7th floor, tukaenda kwa office yake. So I met my sister, hadn't seen her in a while. And then that neighbor of mine left.
First and foremost.
Yes.
How good is that Ubuntu for back in the days?
Yes.
That community living.
Yes. She was so, these are people who are around us.
Yeah, but
so she saw how we were living.
Your neighbor has allowed you to stay with her.
Yes.
The night before.
The night
now,
before.
Now this other neighbor is ensuring that you get to...
Thank you. And you see, that is, all that is God, by the way. To me, that is now God's doing. Because, to be honest, I had no idea I was going, and I was confused. In fact, I remember that night, I'm thinking to myself, ama ningerudi kwanza nichapo tu, hii story ishe.
Wow.
I'm thinking now, nikienda kwa kina sis, najua hata hawa kona mashida. So I'm going to take more problems to them. I was asking myself all sorts of questions. But roho yangu ilikuwa, you have to do this. There's no turning back. You have to do this. So, right. So, my sis, tumekutana, nini, my neighbor left. And just a few minutes later, my mom walks in.
Wow.
She walks into my sister's office.
Nakuona.
Ananiona, Njuki, kumekuja huko, hey. She's like, okay, nini kwani nini mbaya?
Oh man, unampatia story.
So now I explained everything to her. So my sister, because she's working, she's like, now mami, utaenda na Njuki mrudi naye nyumbani. Right? Because now she's at work, so I can't stay there with her. And it's like God, because I didn't know she was going to be there. My mom was going to come there. I didn't even know what was going to happen. So after I explained to my sister what happened, she's like, aina shida, wewe utaenda tu home. And that's what happened. So me and my mom, sijui mama hata alikuwa amekuja kufanya nini. We did whatever she was doing and then we went back to Eastleigh. Now, as we're heading to Eastleigh, my mind, what I'm remembering is where we used to live before we left for Modore.
Okay.
Lakini, where we are going is worse than the place we used to live. Remember I told you we lived in a one-bedroom house. But although it's only one-bedroom house used to be quite spacious.
Yeah.
Those houses for Indies used to be very good. Like they are very spacious. So tunafika pale St. You know where St. Teresa's is in Eastleigh? I don't know if you've been there. But there's St. Teresa's church. There's a church at St. Teresa's, and so we alight from there. There's a street called Melawa Street, and we start going down Melawa Street. On the other side is Madare, because that St. Teresa's is on the first street. So this side, first street, alafu the other side, ukicross across the road is Madare. All that is Madare, mpaka ukienda uko Huruma. So I'm looking and wondering, guy, kwani where are we going?
This doesn't look like...
It doesn't look familiar. Huku sikule niliacha Eastleigh.
Huku ni wapi?
Yeah. So we walk mpaka uko chini. I'm looking at this place looking weird. Some two flats zimetengenezwa hapo mingi. Tukaingia. Started going upstairs. I think they used to be in like 4th or 5th floor. And all those houses were bed sitters.
Okay.
Bed sitters, you guy. Remember, my mom and my mom, they are living, my mom, my elder sister, my late sister, and Duta. They live 4 of them in that one bed sitter. They only have a chair, one like a 2-seater and a 6x6 bed. So they share that bed, and one of them sleeps on the on the couch there. So me tukaingia, tukafika kwa hao. I'm looking at this house and I'm like, no, Mazi. What? Like, what is this? Like, what have I done? Maybe I should have just stayed. Whatever happens to me or whatever would have happened.
I'm not giving here, get more she does.
I should have just been beaten, nikae huko, whatever happens. Hey, so I'm thinking, so many questions are going through my mind. But my mom she's just there, so happy to see me and reassuring me everything is going to be okay. She's like, don't worry, kila kitu itakuwa sawa. And I'm like, okay, right, God mazee, wewe ndio unajua. And now at that point I'm remembering I used to pray to God to remove me from this place. Now remove me from Modore, from my dad's place. I used to pray so much. Every single day I'd come out of that gate. Nakaa hapo hivyo because we were just next to the highway. Nakaa hapo juu nasema, please God, haki nitoe huko. I can't stand it anymore. Sasa God amenitoa.
Kini wewe bado nataka complain.
I'm like, I'm not content. I'm like, hey, amenitoa ndio, lakini amenipeleka to the worst.
Kutoka Potiphar's house mpaka
prison. Yes, exactly. So I'm like, what? Anyway, my sister comes back from work in the evening. The rest of my sisters also come. My late sister comes from work. My other sister was in school because yeye alikuwa high school. I think she was in Form when I was in Form 1, she was in Form 3. Yes, she was in Form 3. So she was still in boarding school. Anyway, so we sat down with my sisters and I explained to them everything that happened.
From school,
yes,
kila
from
kitu.
School, everything. And they were like, you know what, don't worry. Now you're here. We are going to live as a family with whatever we have, whatever small we have. That's how we're going to live. God will provide for us. So my mom had already retired. That's one of the reasons why they had to move.
The house had gone.
The house had gone. In fact, that house was sold to some Somali. Some Somali guy came and offered the landlord to that house. So that, flat, and offered, I think, like 10 milli or something.
Like,
pesa hawajaiona maisha
I'm
yao.
out.
Hey, you guy. Those in the early 90s, ilikuwa pesa mingi sana.
That's how they wiped out that whole place. Yeah. Somalis.
Na nakuja na cash money.
Yeah.
Na kuhesabia hapo.
There's a time they came to South Sea, where the Mavuno offices used to be.
Yes.
I think that time the house there was maybe worth 10M.
Yes.
And then they come and tell the landee, hey, I'll give you 15. Tell the guy to leave now.
And they don't joke around. They are so serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and that's how so now that's how they were kicked out. I think they were given like 2 days to move.
Yeah.
And they moved. They had to move because now the landlord has sold the place. So anyway, so I think at that point I was quite depressed. I was very depressed.
How old are you at this time?
I'm 13.
13, 14, huh?
I'm 13 because I'm in Form 1. Now going to 14.
Yes.
Because this is third term, towards end of third term.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was 13. And So now they had to, now my sisters had to now, had to panga how I'm going to, you know, like start school again, and how life is was going to be now from then onwards. So what they did is they looked for a school, because now I could not go back to St. Philip's in Embu. And then it was too late. Now I had to
Rewind.
I had to rewind. You guy, that is one thing that really, really depressed me. I could not imagine that I was going to rewind, my friend. Like,
And it's Form 1.
it's Form 1, you guy. Mono. Hiyo kitu mono ilikuwa ni ilikuwa sijui kaa nini yani. I can't even explain. It was almost traumatizing, you know, because of the way, you know, you are treated in school, nini.
Not almost, it is traumatizing.
It is traumatizing.
Yeah.
True. So, so they found a school. They found a school at Riru. And the school was called Riru High School. And it was a private school.